My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to the Bazaar. We're going in with our free ranked run for today. And it's going to be Vanessa. I don't know what I want. I'm not going to predict what I want. I'm just going to let the game show me. Luncheon! Damn it. Trebuchet. Bonjour, mon ami. Trebuchet. Every 8 seconds, we'll deal 15 damage. 50, rather. And 12 burn. 12 burn, really good. Also, when you use a weapon or haste charges for a second. I mean, if you see that, you surely take that. Are yourselves weapons? Let me find a 1-slot quick weapon. Bayonet. When you use a weapon left of this, deal 5 damage. That doesn't count as using a weapon, so it won't help me. Luncheon. Nope. Switchblade. When you use an adjacent weapon, give it +3 damage for the fight. In a build where I am just putting a lot of weapons on the field, this does want to go there. It's just, if I take this, I can't roll and find a 2 size. Like a katana with a 2-second cooldown for an attack. The cutlass with a 5-second cooldown to strike twice, so 2.5 seconds effectively for its cooldowns. Oh, what's the other one? There's one other one that's quite quick at this point in time that's a good pickup. Can't remember it for the life of me, but I can't find them. So do I just settle for this in the meantime? Yes, and then I'll leave. You got me, game. You got me to do it. Pyro for an additional burn on Trebuchet. That is definitely worth it. Assuming all of my burn goes off, which is a flawed assumption, but assuming all of my burn goes off, then another burn, just selling a single Cinders on Trebuchet, is 13 additional damage. Every activation.
Pathetic, as spineless as a jellyfish.
Kina sells non-weapon items, Nufu sells skills. Happily, the rightmost flame weapon one. Medium burn items. I think I might reroll here. I want Final Flame. Or, you know, the one that... Oh, yikes. First time you poison each fight, freeze an item. When your items gain freeze, burn 4. When your weapons... I'm going to go for the rightmost has +5 crit. I was really, really hoping to see the... your leftmost or your rightmost item has 4 additional burn. Either of them, like initial ignition or final burn, whichever the names for them are. That definitely would have been good here.
You should know.
I'm not going to say it was essential. I think we probably still win this fight. Most of the time. Yeah, we'll still win this. Hang on, that's a cooldown of 1.8 seconds. And it is getting buffed. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I think without the Cinders, I think we do lose that one. Actually, speaking of Cinders for 2 additional burn, every additional point of it is worth more than the previous point. I'll go to Lost Crate and return the crate. I'll absolutely go to the Monster Ranch. Yes, middle sells medium items, and there's like a lot of those I want right now, but do I want the more than 9% cooldown reduction on Trebuchet? I think it's hard to make that argument. I'm not beating the Borea. I probably beat Tent City Mare, but I definitely beat the Giant Mosquito, and the Giant Mosquito has haste a weapon at the start of the fight, as well as insect wings for cooldown reduction. So the rewards are just significantly better from this fight. For us. I do need to field 2 additional weapons as soon as I possibly can, right? Like, the Trebuchet, when you use a weapon or haste, charge this for a second. Every weapon I don't have on board is making my Trebuchet weaker.
already? We barely got our flags up.
Another 6% cooldown reduction. Oh, I'm gonna hit up the mountain pass for experience. And gold, getting us to level 3. We got cinders again, that's what I was hoping for. Kev's Armory, health, toughness, and shield items. I'll go look. There's Cove. It's got Pearl alongside it, Coral Armor. I can field Pearl and Coral. And I can even give Coral the additional scrap. That said, Pearl is triggering like every just less than 4 seconds because the only other aquatic item would be Cove. And Cove is triggering every 3 seconds, so surely I just give the scrap to Cove and just accept that I've got pretty reasonable shielding from that. This isn't a plan to field these long term. And yes, I would significantly prefer were they weapons in those slots. Okay. But, in the interim... Hang on. There we are. In the interim, when I am offered the ability to defend myself in between these rounds, also because I can exit the Cove very easily. Once I've sold enough things, the Cove is very, very easy to move out of. Cooldown on Trebuchet is now 6.8 seconds. It's got a lot of cooldown reduction. And a lot of burn as well, so the enemy is really, really hurting.
Another round. You fall like a boulder. I flow like the waves.
Pole sells large items. It's not unlikely I find an upgrade for either Trebuchet or Cove. In fact, it's very likely I do. Do I take that over eating contests for the extra HP? I'm gonna do it. There's the Cove upgrade. Flagship. If you have another tool, ammo, property, or friend, this has +1 multicast for each. Trebuchet is none of those. Yeah, so... There's also Crow's Nest flagship here. It's a very early Crow's Nest flagship. Crow's Nest, your weapons have plus 25% crit chance, and if you have exactly one weapon, that weapon has lifesteal, as well as the flagship. I'm very invested in the Trebuchet's damage right now, which makes it difficult to consider going for something like that instead. But I can just upgrade the Cove. Get 4 more shielding out of it. Actually, it'll also increase the value, so... more than that. I'm gonna keep the Cove.
Now this will inspire the crew.
Hit up the Monster Ranch for monster loot. I really want to see Alia soon. Oh my god. Double 9% cooldown reduction again. Scout Trooper? Scout Trooper does have a lot of HP, but they also have a lot of very quickly attacking weapons, which could be very useful for us. Not much in the Frost Rate for us, and not much in Dabbling Apprentice. I'm gonna go for the double 9% cooldown reduction before we even go into the fight. Additional shielding, as well as the Trebuchet is now firing in 5 seconds. And I'm gonna go for the Scout Trooper. The biggest problem here is the Scout Trooper has the ability to slow our stuff. But if I can get, like, 2 big hits with the Trebuchet off without it getting super slowed, like just happened, the burn is gonna start stacking up. Come on. Oh my god, come on. Oh, we just got there! Woo! That was risky. Gunner, your items have +1 max ammo. There are some items that I can field now that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to. Aquatic items have the cooldown reduced, poison, medkit, get a friend. Leftmost item has 3 additional value for the cove, which then gets 6 additional shielding from that. It's probably better than the other options here. Barkun sells medium and large items. Again, the possibility of upgrading Trebuchet or Cove, but also the possibility of finding one of the... There we go. Quickly attacking weapons like Cutlass.
On behalf of the Grand Society of them, Mister. Anyway, thanks.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Cutlass deals double crit damage. I mean... Yeah, but the crit potential of Trebuchet is still so much higher with 34 burn, so I don't think the Cutlass goes on the far right for the sake of right eye. I rolled because if I did hit a silver Trebuchet or a silver Cove, I would have been able to sell the Pearl and the Switchblade to pick it up, and getting to a gold tier of either of those definitely would have been worth it to me. At the start of each day, get a piranha. At the start of each day, get a small aquatic item. I could have fishing rod and fishing net here to try and make some money. It'd take 2 days of holding them in my inventory until they're positive value. No, I need my money to be valuable right now. Alia sells weapons.
I would spar with you, but this leg. Oof.
Musket. Oh, this is interesting. Every 5 seconds, deal 50 damage. Crit chance is 100%. When you burn, reload this 1 ammo. I believe that it will... I believe that this triggers fast enough. I'm selling Pearl and Switchblade, and I'm taking Musket.
Carry my weapon, I fight alongside you.
It's got a 100% crit chance, right? So it's nice to have something that's a guaranteed crit on board. Dealing 100 damage every 5 seconds. And when I burn, it reloads 1 ammo. It has actually 2 ammo because of Gunner. But Musket goes off after 5 seconds, loses an ammunition, causes Trebuchet to go, gains an ammunition. The next time Musket goes off, Trebuchet definitely... They can fall out of sync with one another, but it's going to take a while until they do, especially with the additional ammo that it has access to.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
My dreams are too big for you to steal.
Please, call me Richard. We got a Piggles and Yo-Yo build here with a flail on one side as well. The model ship is very heavily buffed up. Plus 30 shielding every usage of it. Thankfully, I am gaining some solid additional burn on them, which is making it difficult for them to stack, especially because the model ship is not scaling. It's just very large to begin with. That was actually much closer than I thought it was going to get. That Yo-Yo was doing work.
Bravery without strength is a sword without a blade.
Sterling sells silver tier items. Unfortunately, unless it's Cutlass or Musket, I can't afford it right now. If it's Trebuchet, I will sell Cove to get it. Electric Eels. When your enemy uses a weapon, deal 5 damage. If your enemy uses a non-weapon item, slow it for a second. I think that goes in a completely different version of this build that I'm not currently running. If I roll now, the only thing that I can find that I would be happy about would be Trebuchet, and that would still force me to sell the Cove. Because I wouldn't be able to pick up Musket or Cutlass. I'm going to leave that shop. That's an unfortunate one for us. I'm going to go to Lost Crate for the additional experience and gold here. I don't attack super commonly. So I don't think I trigger too many effects from the electric eels. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not good in this fight. Halfway through their health right now. I'm getting pretty close. And okay, good. Good. Okay, that was less close than I actually thought it was. But the enemy was scaling up, so it was getting nearer and nearer the entire time. Upgrade your leftmost silver tier item. Very appealing. I'm gonna get the trebuchet upgraded.
The keener the blade, the quicker the fight.
Sell off my piranha. Middle sells medium items. There's a lot of medium items I still care about. But Malafang sells burn skills, and anything that increases the burn of the trebuchet is really important to me. Yeah, literally, just rightmost burn item has 4 additional burn.
No fire.
Your large burn items have 4 additional burn. I'm gonna go with the rightmost.
If it melts through your pack, I'm not liable.
Professor Wriggle is selling poison skills here. The only poison skill that's really relevant to me would be Sick Burn. Because then I know what else to include in the build, or Sick Burn when you... I think it's when you poison charge a burn item? For 2 seconds? But that's much later game. But also Chemical Burn, because that's both poison and burn getting additional. It's just not... It's very narrow and there aren't that many good things there for us. Deep sea fishing, get an aquatic item. I'm gonna go to Orion who sells tools. I'm really looking for a star chart here. I would also take the captain's wheel.
Are tools weapons? Well, that's up to you.
There's the star chart. Adjacent items have 10% crit chance, and their cooldown is reduced by 10%.
Hey, I use that brand myself. Quality stuff.
I do want to sub out of Cove very quickly. But I don't think that's good yet. Right? What about that? 4.5 every 5.1. It's got 15% crit chance. Just because Trebuchet is doing so much burn, I think it's more impactful to get that to hit faster than to have the musket on the field right now. Shovel gets us an item from any hero at the start of my day. Yo-Yo would be nice. How narrowly am I going to be looking for items right now? I could also take Honing Steel, but that's not... Our scaling is putting more burn on the enemy via the Trebuchet firing faster. Shovel.
See ya.
I'm gonna hold it. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna lose 1 gold off of the back of this. And literally the day is about to roll over. In the previous position, there was also another store after, where I was about to try and make the investment into the fishing rod and piranha net. Oh boy. That's a big beast of burden. I'm very happy to have Cove on this field, especially because there's a beast of burden and a Jabalian longbow. Yeah, I think I'm probably... No, I lowered their health enough that the Jabalian longbow didn't hit for another time. Oh, we got so close. Literally 1 more tick of burns, so half a second later, we would have won that fight.
Bring her about. I've got another salvo with me.
Alia does sell weapons, but the docks have turned up, and we do have the star chart. Gimme value. Cinders for the burn, and that's +4 burn at this point. Oh, Biggles! Sometimes you just get them. And Induction Aegis is what we dug up with the shovel. I'm gonna hit up the Lost Crate. Hercuvian Rocket Trooper. The Hercuvian Rocket Trooper both has rocket boots and a shadowed cloak, either of which would be absolutely incredible for us. The shadowed cloak would be giving 3 seconds worth of haste to a weapon when it activates, and also +7 damage to it. And the rocket boots will haste 2 adjacent items for 2 seconds, which is also 2 trigger for Trebuchet.
See that plank? Walk it.
Okay, we got gunpowder. Grandmaster, teaches skills with a high chance of upgrades. I've gone to this guy a lot and got no upgrades offered of anything that I have. There are things that I still want that are silver tier. Argenta has stuff to offer me. I'm gonna go to the Grandmaster and see whether or not I regret it. Gunner. That is an upgrade for Gunner. And then Arms Dealer, when you sell a weapon, gain 20 max HP. How many weapons am I going to be buying and selling realistically? I do like max HP though. Ah, Orlin, you sell gold tier skills. Why don't you make me super powerful right now? Warm hugs when you use a friend burn 2. There's command ship. Nope. If you have a vehicle, reduce your non-vehicle's cooldowns by 5%. If you have 4 or fewer items, you have plus 1,000 max health. And then Desperate Strike, when you have less health than your opponent, your items gain crit chance. Honestly, I think I put large appetites on the field right now, and then I just ride having 1,000 extra health through a couple of battles. 1,000 extra health. No one's gonna be able to touch me.
Go ahead. Underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
You do see these tusks, right?
I've got more health than Pygmalion. And thank heck for that. They've got a Regal Blade that's heavily buffed up as well as a Vineyard Dog on. What? I'm gonna lose. Oh my god.
Defeat does not.
How dare you? Aquatic items have their cooldown reduced. Again, Cinders. Oh, another Piggles. Give me the Cinders. There's a Fire Potion here. Not really that relevant to us. Snack time, 175 max HP. I mean, it's nice, but where I'm already using large appetites, it's a little unimpressive comparatively. I'm going to gain additional value. Pearls would have been trying to get something, but I don't know what I would be looking for from it. I'd just be kind of rolling until I see something that looks good enough to justify stopping rolling. Foreman doesn't really have anything we'd be particularly interested in picking up here. Enclave Weeper? Kind of similar, I guess. Enclave Weeper also doesn't... I mean, it burns us a little bit, but I could justify taking Cove off the board if I was versing that. And then Zookeeper... Yeah. Nothing really there for us either. This is an easy Enclave Weeper, especially considering I believe this build is going to have a pretty easy time taking him down. I've lost my extra 1,000 HP, but I'm now throwing another weapon on board. I've got more poison, more burn stacking up more quickly. Yeah. And the Cove's additional shielding was entirely irrelevant in this fight.
Maybe a skirmish.
Additional experience as well as taking the enemy with the highest experience. More than happy with that. Got a weapon, extract, crit chance. Upgrading our leftmost silver tier item definitely still feels like the pick here. But should it be Cove now? I think so. I think we're getting to the point that actually Cove should stay on board. I'm gonna go get 150 more max HP. Actually, Orlin, what are you doing? When you poison vehicles, Another 1,000 max HP? Okay.
Now
Okay.
this will inspire the crew.
We've just got a large appetite. Our build is that I'm hungry. And I will consume all.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms. You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Ah. I recognize you. I see you. Oh boy. I'm liking this.
You've got talent. You should put it toward nobler use.
We've got 2 large items. Give me the captain's wheel and we'll be absolutely off to the races. You gotta work at the docks with the navigator. Alia, you sell weapons. Gumball, you really benefit the Cove. Literally, it's 30 additional shielding if I buy and sell every Gumball. Not even taking into account the additional max HP, the additional crit chance, the damage, and the just straight up shielding it can give. Shock Trooper. Now, Shock Trooper is actually quite quick in the fight, but they do burn damage, which I get to ignore a lot of burn damage because the shield halves incoming burn damage. Reduces burn damage by 50%. Joyful Jack. Ugh. We are in a meta at the moment where late game, freeze, etc., so on and so forth. You know the drill. I don't need to say it out. But that does make an argument for going to Joyful Jack every single time you see him, just hoping to get Rapid Thor, the skill. Sergeant Suz is also here hilariously. Does Shock Trooper have any items I care about? Literally, no. The answer is no. I'm gonna take the 1 less experience and the possibility of getting Rapid Thor.
Welcome, dear guest. Stay.
I'm not happy that I'm making this decision. At least I'm not having to give something else up to make this decision, but still.
You got me. Stem and all.
Pathetic. As
Yep.
spineless as a jellyfish.
Couldn't have expected to get it. We got Extract instead. Scrap for additional shield. Loot items? Give me the loot items. I want cooldown reduction. I'll take 3 regeneration and 6 burn, as well as 12 gold and 15 shielding on the Cove. I'll take that. Yeah, actually I will. Actually, yes please. Let's hit up the mountain pass. I'm ready to go for a risky fight against the Shock Trooper. Well, came back anyway. And I still get to get the experience from this fight, which is all I really wanted. Admittedly, their plasma rifle does grow in damage very, very quick, and I would be quite scared if I didn't have 2,000 additional HP.
It's over already. We barely got our flags up.
We got an induction Aegis. There's worlds where I could imagine Gunpowder going back on field. I don't think Shovel stays. I think, because I just need 5 spaces here, and it's entirely unrelated to the fact that I'm going to go and pick up 150 max HP. I promise. And 30 shielding on this. Sorry, 15 shielding on this guy. It was 30 when I was doing the gumballs.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
There's the lizard. They have frozen shot as well? Wait, How are you? Okay, that was paralytic poison, quick freeze triggering as well. Where was the other freeze coming from, though? Yeah, they got me. That's 800 poison. Oh, Ice 9000.
Time, boys.
Right.
Less blunder, more plunder.
Cinders for additional burn. Yes, please. Bjorn, please give me some of the frozen skills. Oh, no, you're up against Hef. The problem is I could go to Hef and just not hit. I could just go to Hef and get absolutely nothing that's relevant to my build at all. Bjorn, I will definitely get some way to freeze my enemies. Yeah, there's Frostfire. The first time you burn each fight, freeze an item for 4 seconds. First time you crit, I'm pretty likely to crit over the course of the fight, so the stunning strike would also occur, but Frostfire, definitely.
Made at least one smart choice in your life.
The reason I'm hoarding all of this money is, of course, for the chocolate. Robo Bouncer. When you use a weapon, adjacent weapons get additional crit chance for the fight. The Robo Bouncer does have a couple of weapons that fire particularly quickly. In focus here would be the Katana, which fires every 2 seconds. And the Gatling gun, which fires in 4 seconds, but it reduces its cooldown by 10% every time it fires. So it just gets faster and faster and faster and faster. Robo Bouncer has good hits. The thing is, Joyful Jack is still here, and I could still go for the freeze. But now that there's actual hits in the opposition, I've got to go for the Bouncer. Cybersecurity would actually be... No, cybersecurity wouldn't be anything. It deals triple damage if it's your only friend and deals 20 additional damage for every weapon that you have. I'm not gonna field that instead of the Cutlass. It attacks every 12 seconds. What I really need is that Katana. Give me that Katana right now. There's the Sundera. Every 4 seconds, deal 20 damage to your enemy's shield items, lose 15 shield for the fight. Pole sells large items. Why don't you upgrade one of mine? Did you not hear me? I asked you to upgrade one of my weapons. Instead, you've given me the Lighthouse. Every 6 seconds, it burns for 8, and when you slow, you charge it 3 seconds. Electric Eels, which could charge it when my enemy uses non-weapon items. And Port. Well, you did give me gold tiers, you just didn't give me the right ones. Lighthouse is interesting, but I don't think I can use it yet. Lighthouse would eventually replace Trebuchet. It would be a completely different build. A build that has much more access to slow than I currently have access. Middle sells medium items, but Nufu sells skills, and at this point I desperately need skills. None of these are particularly interesting. When you gain burn, heal 30. It's not when you burn, it's when you gain burn. First time you crit each fight, freeze an item 5 seconds. It's also inexorable. Your items have 2% additional crit chance. When you start a fight, increase this bonus by 4%. And that's not applied to my actual items. That's applied to the skill itself. Okay, yeah, eventually I'm just gonna crit. Okay, let's have a look at the comparative upgrades here for Cove and Trebuchet. Cove goes to getting 2 additional value every time I sell an item, as well as 4 times its value in shielding, versus Trebuchet, which gets 4 additional burn and 100 additional damage. Star Chart honestly does want a look in, but eventually Star Chart gets replaced by something else. Star Chart could easily be Shadowed Cloak, could easily be Rocket Boots, could easily be a number of different things. It just doesn't have to be Star Chart, you know? How much do I believe Cove stays in this build forever? Because ultimately that's what I'm deciding, right? I think if I commit to Cove staying in this build forever, I'm committing to losing unless I find very specific... Actually, you know what? Captain's Wheel is my out. Captain's Wheel is my out, and it wants me to have 2 large properties on fields. Well, 2 large items. Don't have to be properties, but in this instance, they will be. Never fielding musket again, so I can sell that as well. Extract and gunpowder theoretically could have some value in the future, so I'm not going to sell them just yet.
We're out to dethrone
Fun, good old Whitebeard.
not to squabble with nobodies. You should know I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
There's the creeping chill. Okay, only 1 frozen trigger on their board. They have pretty good slow application. And they do shoot me in the face for a bunch of damage with that sniper rifle. It can crit 21% of the time. It's crit 2 times.
I've got another salvo with me.
But the enemy goes down.
All cannon, no bomb.
Realistically, the only reason I'm in the game at the moment is because I have so much HP. This board loses without it, but that's just where we put ourselves. Middle, give me.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge.
Oh my god,
All about moderation.
that's a diamond wheel. And a katana.
If it's not right for you, bring it back. I want you to be happy.
Okay, so the wheel says haste adjacent items for 3 seconds. When you use a large or when you use a vehicle rather or a large item, charge this 2 seconds. So with this, I can get perma haste on the trebuchet and the cove, which causes them to activate much faster, which causes them to trigger the captain's wheel much faster. So that's a lot more haste triggers going out on the field, so the trebuchet gets a lot faster. And there's also a katana, which just attacks faster than the cutlass.
Oh, delivery's free. I like the exercise.
This is much better. This is exactly the shot that I needed to come into. So Trebuchet does want to have permanent haste on itself. The katana does attack every 2 seconds. I'd love this to be getting haste as well, but I think it's more important that the Cove and the Trebuchet trigger faster, because when they trigger faster, they trigger the Captain's Wheel faster, which triggers more haste, which triggers the Trebuchet faster. So I think this is the correct ordering of these. Well, I give the additional crit chance from Right Eye to the Trebuchet, but I think this is the correct ordering. I don't have the when you crit one right now, do I? I'm gonna go look at Bjorn. It's possible I see nothing here I can pick up, and that'll be fine. Yeah, Stunning Strike is there and I'm not able to afford it. I can get an extra second of freeze on Frostfire, and at this point that's probably worth doing.
Now this will inspire the crew.
Okay, Death Knight Reaper is really important for this kind of a build. Specifically, Death Knight Reaper has... what is it called? Death Knight Reaper has... oh, I mean Shadowed Cloak, but I think we're beyond that. Death Knight Reaper has the skill Hypnotic Drain. When you use a weapon, freeze a smaller item for 2 seconds. So the katana would be freezing a small item every 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. And the trebuchet would be freezing mediums and smalls. This is up against the Elite Duelist, who does have Knife Set, which is fine, and Big Ego, which is your weapons up lifesteal. That's really good, but it's just Big Ego there that's really actually appropriate for us. Full Arsenal, the skill of the Blood Reef Captain could be okay as well. 10% cooldown reduction to the entire board. But it's giving up 3 experience and 5 gold, as well as the possibility of getting freeze in this build in order to get that. Too much to sacrifice for too narrow a chance of getting anything. Yeah, the trebuchet is firing much faster. It's got perma-haste, so it's at least firing every 2.85 seconds, I guess. But on top of that,
Battle?
anytime the captain's wheel triggers, it gives it out 2 charges of haste, which gives out 2 seconds worth of charge immediately to the trebuchet. Mortal Coil. The weapon to the left of this has lifesteal. I don't think I need lifesteal. Additional scrap, additional shielding out of the cove. The cove does give me a lot of shielding right now. But I do think my burn needs to be constantly invested in to stay at all appropriate. Paul sells large items, and I'm just going to take the risk that you've got my trebuchet upgrade.
Street boulders. This is more fun.
Tropical Island. At the start of each hour, get a coconut or a citrus. I just leave that in my inventory, and at the start of each hour, it's going to get an item for me. Aerodrome, you can travel almost anywhere. I'll go to the aerodrome. I'm looking for a non-shop. Oh, that's annoying. Zara sells haste and charge skills. That might actually be important enough for me to immediately sell what I just picked up. First 5 times you use a weapon each fight, charge an item a second. That's really good. Oceanic Rush at the start of a fight. Haste and aquatic item 6 seconds. That gets our board to activate much faster. Quick freeze, the ability to freeze my enemies. I'm so sorry, Tropical. I wish I could take mixed messages here. When you use a non-weapon item, a weapon gains haste for 2 seconds. That would be incredible, but I can't. So Oceanic Rush will immediately give a second's worth of charge to the trebuchet, as well as charge either the cove or the captain's wheel, causing the trebuchet to end up going off much faster. I actually think the best play here is taking Oceanic Rush. It causes my build to start so much quicker. Flurry of Blows is also okay. First 5 times you use a weapon each fight, charge an item 1 second. But this still waits until my first trigger goes off of Katana. And even then, Katana is just reducing the cooldown of the trebuchet to 4.7. So with Oceanic Rush applied, this is already reduced to 3.7 because it sees haste immediately and Katana goes off after 2 seconds. And after three seconds, either the captain's wheel or the cove have already gone off. So the captain's wheel would have given 2 charges out. The cove would have triggered the captain's wheel, giving 2 charges out. It's absolutely Oceanic Rush. That's one of the best things I could find, in fact.
Go ahead. Underestimate me. It makes
Freeze is still pretty bad against me.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
But that's always the case. Oh my god, it was the captain's wheel. Well, you can see that and the trebuchet going off to a pretty good start.
You've got talent.
Absolutely
Put
get
it
him.
toward nobler use. Land legs make you predictable. You move in straight lines.
Alia sells weapons, and the 2 items that I do want to upgrade are both weapons. I'm going to go to the eating contest, and at this point, I will actually save my money and go for the bronze. Only 50 max HP, but the Cove is pretty happy about it. So that's 5, that's 10, that's 40 additional shielding the Cove picks up just from that. Snack time, 30 max HP. If it weren't for the fact that the bounty hunters are right here, I would definitely go for the snack time. But like, this guy's gonna give me 4 experience and 7 gold.
We should have brought more guys.
How do you turn that down?
See that plank? Walk it.
I already turned that down. Thank you for the cutlass again. 2 income. Medkit. Sharpening stone? I don't think Sharpening Stone's additional damage is really almost at all going to be relevant. Medkit for healing. Honestly, the one here that seems the most relevant to me is Just Keep Swimming. 3% cooldown reduction for my aquatic items. It's tiny, but it still feels more relevant than the alternatives. Void Golem destroys an item at immediately at the start of the fight. It's literally a 1 in 4 that I lose the trebuchet and immediately lose the fight. So I'm not going to do that. Property Baron is going to be very easy for us to kill. We activate so quickly that the Property Baron really shouldn't... Yeah. Really shouldn't have time to get on the board before I'm already past their halfway on HP. And you can get some big heals out of that Subscraper. You can do that as much as you'd like.
It's over already. We barely got our flags up.
Subscraper, deal damage equal to 3 times the value of your items. This has double value in combat. If you have 4 or fewer items in play, this has +1 multicast. Now, I'm not saying anything. But what would it do? Every 6 seconds, every 3 seconds actually, because the Captain's Wheel is going to have permahaste on it, it would deal... Wait. I mean, it's only dealing good damage because the Cove is on the field. If I take the Cove off, suddenly, like, yeah, it's another weapon, and it triggers the Captain's Wheel, but I lose all of my shielding. Celestial Conduit. Enchant an item with cannot be frozen, slowed, or destroyed. We should definitely do that to the Trebuchet. It's really important the Trebuchet actually gets to its ability to activate, because if it doesn't, I'm screwed. This would be better against Poison Dually. So if I see Dually, I might sub in the Subscraper, but other than that, I do think the Cove needs to stay there. The only aquatic item on board, if I had the Subscraper on board instead, would be the Captain's Wheel, so it would mean that 1.8-ish, half of 3.9, 1.8.5, 1.9, whatever. Doesn't matter. It would mean that the Captain's Wheel would be triggering just under 2 seconds. There we go. Into the fight, which is 2 additional seconds worth of charge for the Radiant Trebuchet immediately. So it's got 3 seconds worth of charge by that point, and it's hasted, and also the Katana. So basically, the Captain's Wheel and the Trebuchet go off at the same time. Hell's Dig Site.
Packed a change of clothes, because you're gonna get dirty.
I see. Can't beat him, join him. I'm not going to do a poison build with this. Swashbuckle. Jason items have 25% additional crit chance. And they have additional damage, heal, or shield equal to their crit chance. If I had a way other than inexorable of increasing crit chance, maybe. But I don't. Omega Ray and Monitor Lizard, I'm fine, thank you. Big Billy Dozer. Other friends have reduced cooldown. There's also when you use a non-weapon item. Don't use many of those, chum. A shielded pop snappers. Oh, I could pay 16 for 4 max health. Icebreaker. When any item gains freeze, charge this 2 seconds. When this item gains freeze, remove freeze from it. That's interesting freeze counterplay tech. The only problem is I don't know if my enemy has freeze on board until I go in and then I'm like, oh, they have a freeze enchant. Oh boy. And if they don't have freeze, it's so much worse than the Katana. The Katana actually isn't contributing that much anymore. Every 2 seconds it's giving a second worth of charge to the Trebuchet, but every 2 seconds, the Trebuchet is getting so much more charge off of the Cove and Trebuchet activating the wheel and going back and forth. I'm gonna take Icebreaker. How dare I? How dare I try and complain about freeze builds when I have the counterplay right here and I'm refusing to use it? All you have to do is get Icebreaker, which is so rare that this is the second time I've seen it. I could sub in Skyscraper if I really thought that this was going to be a poison dually for certain. I'm going to keep my freeze counter
Go
on.
ahead. Underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
You got a turbo core, no freeze in your build at all. Wait, did you just... Ah, yeah, they had a quick freeze, so they did have one freeze, which the Icebreaker removed. Perfect.
Bravery without strength is a sword without a blade.
Midsworth sells small and large items. I'm looking for the Shrouded Figure to give me some experience, please. There's a lot of experience. I'll take some cinders for my trouble too. She sells items. Racetrack, a haste item, probably irrelevant. Poison Wriggle sells poison items. Honestly, I'm gonna go to Wriggle, and I'm looking for the first time you use a large item each fight, poison the enemy.
It's my coated culture.
I didn't find it. The first time you use a large item each fight, poison adjacent items get 6 additional poison. But the first time you use a large item each fight, poison the enemy, that would give me the ability to also freeze the enemy when you poison. For the first time, that is. I'm gonna take Chemical Fire, just paying 12 for 2 more burn. This is very, very expensive, but I'll do it.
Wriggle.
The dunes are
Lord of the Wastes, I've got 4 prestige left. So I could get 9 more prestige from the Genie Writ. And that'd actually be pretty good for me. So give me the give me the Genie Lamp, please.
Someday you will see.
Pathetic. As spineless as a jellyfish.
Flamberge. Deals quadruple crit damage. We go on Cinders for additional burn here as well. Flamberge out. Cinders in. I could go to Curio for further cooldown reduction, or I could hit up the Bazaar Con for more experience again. I really want to get to level 16. And he sells small items. Gumball Machine is definitely right for right now. I'll get rid of the Cutlass so that I can buy these in lots of 5. I want one of those skills that increases your... The thing is, if I take Cove off the field, I lose against Burn, but I beat Poison. Well, I don't necessarily beat Poison just by putting Skyscraper on the field. It's a little better. No. If they only have Poison on field, then I do think this is a mistake.
Legend on Pelago.
But are they only going to have Poison on field? That's a fair bit of Poison related. They have Burn. Never mind. Cove was correct. Oh, you got a Restorative Matchbox. When you use a non-weapon item, you burn for an amount and you also heal. That's great. Oh, that's going to be a lot of healing. Thankfully, I've got a lot of max HP. They are burning a lot, but I'm taking half damage to their burn. Dang, they got me. Enchant an item with crit effects. I believe that the wheel gives crits to its adjacencies. No, it does. Oh, that's unfortunate. It doesn't even have a crit. Cove is just going to have, 50% additional crit chance. Pick, the Ice Pick. Wait, this isn't called Ice Pick. It's called Icebreaker. Yeah, just 50% additional crit chance. Skyscraper doesn't have a unique one, does it? Nope. 50% additional crit chance. I guess I give 50% crit chance to the Cove. Yeah, there's no enchant for the Captain's Wheel, so it's just bouncing it back. Alright. it does increase the value
I
of it,
won't
which is
fall.
nice.
My people need me.
Midsworth sells small and large items. There's an eating contest. Slow more Lumbra. Hello. Give me slow on large usage. If you have exactly one weapon, don't. When you use it, slow an item for 3 seconds. That's also when you first slow each fight, freeze an item for 4 seconds, and when you slow, gain 2 regeneration for the fight. I'm gonna go Creeping Chill, and then hope. Nice! Oh, hang on. Captain's Wheel. Okay, so Captain's Wheel will... it doubles its haste duration. That's what it gets from it. Dang. Cove would haste 3 items for 1 second, which is 3 haste triggers for the sake of the Radiant Trebuchet. My damage needs to get higher more than anything else. Icebreaker doesn't do anything unique with these, so it's down to Captain's Wheel. If I took Captain's Wheel, I would give it slow, and then I would be slowing the enemy a lot, and I would actually be able to trigger my Creeping Chill, right? So I get a freeze at the very start of the fight, and also I get a lot of slows out on the enemy items. But if I took Sirocco's Step, and I gave the Cove 3 haste triggers, I think the Radiant Trebuchet becomes so much quicker. And what I need here is speed. I can get crit later. Speaking of getting crit later, here's Mr. Turbo. Yeah, the Radiant Trebuchet is going off significantly faster. And I'm also now getting haste on my Icebreaker from time to time, which is nice.
Was that even a battle? Maybe a skirmish.
Vermeer, you sell crit skills. Give me the increasing crit each attack thing. My crit is already getting pretty good. When you crit, your weapons gain 10 damage to the fight. Damage is not important to me. The first 5 times you crit each fight, charge an item for a second. That's good. Inexorable, increasing the bonus I gain every fight. No. Tox Glocks, but we're up against Nufu. Nufu. He sells skills, I've heard. First time you fall below half health each fight, slow all enemy items 3 seconds. There's also Flurry of Blows. The first 5 times you use a weapon each fight, charge an item for a second. Between that and the crit charge, I think... Between that, the crit charge, and Turbo Cove, I think we're going to go off ridiculously quickly. So, you know the previous episode that was like the fastest trebuchet in the West? Yeah, it's got some competition here.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies. My fight isn't with you, but if you insist...
Okay, they have access to a lot of slow. That's kind of annoying. I got to remove the freeze from all of my items using the Icebreaker. That was pretty sick. So yeah, I have perma-slow on my items.
Defeat does not defeat me.
But even with perma-slow, the triggers are still going off fast enough.
I paint
That's
my ship red,
pretty comforting.
but I don't.
Cinder's for additional burn, but there's also just loot items in general, and, like, cooldown reduction is the name of the game this late. And there it is. 6% cooldown reduction across the board. Also give my Trebuchet the additional damage, just respect it a little. Cobwebs, sell slow items. I'll look at them.
Each moment is a jewel.
Oh, those are slow items. Oh, cool.
Without my
Oh, slow-mo Lumbra. Now you I care about. When you slow, haste the vehicle. Dang, don't have that. When you slow, your weapons gain crit chance of the fight. I still don't slow. I was really hoping to get the when you use your large item for the first time, slow the enemy, so that I could actually trigger my Creeping Chill, but...
Quicker the fight.
Void Golem can't destroy the Radiant Trebuchet right now, but I still think I end up losing that fight. Oh, it only gives 3 experience? Are you kidding me? It's by far the hardest of them. Absolutely wild. Trash Titan? I don't have small items on field, so the Trash Titan's Juggler is not really appealing. I mean, heavy weaponry is still in that fight, that's good. But it's still significantly better than the Honking Experiment, of course. Come on and give me heavy weaponry. It's that skill right there, just so you remember.
Waste of gunpowder.
Pretty sure that's a Venomander. When you use the item to the left of this, gain 1 regeneration for the fight. I'm just gonna sell you instantly so you know where we stand. Snack time! 425 max HP! As much as I do want to go to an eating contest, it's definitely snack time when it's offered like that. Quicksil versus Alia. I'll hit up Alia. You still have the possibility of upgrading my Trebuchet. You don't. But it's important to know that you have the ability to.
Hands are not enough.
Van Buren. The cancelled Fallout project, eh? Do I reckon the cancelled Fallout project has poison damage or burn damage? Wait, actually, no, I can't take Turbo Cove off the field. I can no longer do that. Goodbye, Skyscraper. The Cove is now so much of my build. It's the haste. It's the haste triggers. It's the haste triggers that make it. That said, that also makes me fast enough I might be able to stand up to a poison build. That's not a poison build. You only destroy small items, Dianosaur. And I don't have those. What kind of chump is out here running small items when you could have 2,000 HP instead? I guess I could have 3 large items in 1 small. I don't know why this shows up as late as it does. Who's getting 5% crit chance and 10 damage for their weapons at this point by trading away 1,122 HP? Who does that? The only one here relevant is Scrap for my main man, Turbo Cove. Hello, Cobwebs. I mean, again, it is going to be nice to see. Well, I can actually... Jules Cafe, the bonus lasts throughout the rest of the day, and I'm probably not getting anything from Cobweb that's actually going to change my build. So I'm going to go to Jules Cafe and gain as much HP as I said I was about to lose, 1,122.5. Middle sells medium items, but not the medium items that I care about. Regenerative Tincture for 18, or... I mean, I have so much money that the gold is just the choice here. Veteran Octopus. Come on. All right, I think that went pretty well.
See that plank? Walk it.
I'm leveling up every fight, it feels like. Medkit. Again, the only one that really matters here I'm going to take, and it's Just Keep Swimming. Cooldown reduction of 3 for Turbo Cove and Captain's Wheel. Andy sells small items. Orion sells tools. There's almost no small items or tools that I could care about, but I also don't care about spare change, so I guess I'll go look. All right, and we looked. Ooh, 475 max HP. Don't mind if I do. Up against Nautica and Colt with aquatic and ammo items. Exalted Nem. Just quickly. All right, let's go for it.
Go ahead. Underestimate me. It makes this more fun. We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobody.
That's a build. It hadn't gone off yet, and I already had 500 burn on the enemies. That bodes pretty well for us. Oh no, they healed up a bunch with that deadly cutlass. They actually got me pretty close to the death. But not close enough.
I am the last daughter of House Corzina. My father
Woo!
lives through me.
Gold victory. And we had the Icebreaker for the counterplay. We got a bunch of very, 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 very good pickups. I gotta say, Oceanic Rush, I think, was probably the cleverest pickup I made over the course of the entire run. The fact that we, before the enemy even activated their first item, already had 500 burn on them is not single-handedly due to Oceanic Rush. Like, certainly there's a lot of contribution to that as well from Flurry of Blows and Alacrity. But the fact that it started as quickly as it did, that's all Oceanic Rush. I'm so sorry I had to give up on the Tropical Island as quickly as I did, but damn if it didn't pay off. That's a solid gold victory right there for us. I'll happily take these 3 chests, thank you. Increase our rank to Silver 4. And, back on this screen, announce that my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been the Bazaar. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Top left is a series playlist for all my content of the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations are down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Head above the thank tier, and a special thanks to this episode to Moms. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.